slips behind. O'Connor attempt. Flair rolls through. Flair rolls through. Rolling Thunder. Jones catches one right in the chest. Jones is down. Wait a minute. He's in the middle of the ring. That angle. I think Flair sees it too. Flair's going up to the top. Flair sees this moment, folks. He's calling for it. Frog splash. And Flair Dior takes this one home.
This is the premier superstar, Campbell Myers, aka Killer Cam, aka Soup, one half of the Midwest's best tag team, the Premier, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast.
Outlaw third with steps over. Insecurity. Outlaw out on his feet. Davey Bagel hooks him up. Bagel's looking for that brain eater. From behind Outlaw, handful of tights. Not enough to put Vega away. Vega coming in hot, makes a big boot again. Let's go, Vega! As he hooks. Whoa! Right in the center of the ring with Vega. Vega with a brain eater. Brain with a brain eater. 1, 2, 3.
This is Pistol Danger, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Kenny gets more height, more velocity on that. Probably gets the free. Going for a Destino, perhaps? No. Rose catches him. Stun gun over the ropes. Styles clash. Wait, rolls it over. Oh no! And a second one. Good lord, just for added emphasis. Yeah, you ain't kicking out of that. It's all scrub.
This is the Mile High Magnum, Dak Draper, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast.
Line sends Jeremy Wyatt out of the ring. Dak Draper now. No schoolboy by Jackson. 2 count only. Jackson up to his feet. Into the fireman's carry. Magnum KO. We got a hook in the leg and a cover. 2 and a 3. That'll do it. The winner of this matchup and the new Central States champion, the Mile High Magnum Dak Draper, in a hard, fun battle against 3 of the top competitors here in Central States Wrestling.
I am the Giant Killer, Scott Tyler, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Price, down at 2 on either side. Price, Maestro Cradle. No, Shota stopped him halfway. Price got out of it at 2.5. Shota downstairs with the knee. And Shota, no time to argue with the official here, Shota. If you want to leave with a lasting impression, it would certainly be time to keep your attention on Ethan Price. Up and over the top goes Shota, roll through from Price. He'll carry on through. Wow, Ethan Price, fisherman suplex, perhaps. Oh no, it's a package DDT. Look at the outside leg. Count of 3. Ethan Price, that's a quality win.
This is the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, current, reigning, defending Impact World Champion, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CR Media, as you guys may know me. It is another edition of the I-70 Hot Tag, episode 41, coming to you live tonight. And I'm here with a new face at the place, Bryan J. Baby.
Baby, yeah, I'm not new, man. I've been around a time or two.
I know, new face tonight. New face tonight is what I mean. Bryan J, sir, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. Bryan J is filling in for my co-host, the real Josh Elliott, because the real Josh Elliott has some predetermined events that he had to take care of tonight. So he'll be missing tonight. I'll be missing next week. So hey, that's all right. That's all right. Willie Hendricks, appreciate you joining. He says, "What's up, guys? Good to hear y'all again. Keep up the great work. We appreciate you. We appreciate you guys joining." Chase and Bryan J, what it do? Gears of Kai. Hunter Dillon made it here. We appreciate everybody joining with us tonight, guys. We are live on CR Media's Twitch, twitch.tv/CR Media 1988. And then we are also live on the I-70 Hot Tag Facebook page and the I-70 Hot Tag YouTube page. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please go hit that like button, hit the share button. Let everybody know you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag. We're live every single Thursday. 95% of the time, we're interviewing local Midwest talent that are out there killing it. We've got another great interview for you tonight that we're going to do. But before we get into that, let's get all that knick-knack paddywhacks out of the way. Guys, CR Media 1988 on all forms of social media. You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, all of the above, man. We're starting 2023 strong. We're putting out a lot of great content. I do more than just the I-70 Hot Tag, but the I-70 Hot Tag is my baby. But we do a whole lot more than that, and I got a whole lot of cool stuff coming for you this year. Got a whole little setup. We're going to be doing live interviews at the places where all the events that Josh and I will go to. We're going to do live interviews with fans, maybe some with wrestlers. Also, the events we sponsor. We're going to have merch at the tables. We're also going to be doing interviews with fans at the events. So as you guys, as the matches finish up, we want you guys to come up to us. We'll interview you, post it online, play it here on the I-70 Hot Tag or on CR Media's YouTube page, whatever. But we are definitely got a lot of great things going for you in 2023. So since Josh isn't here to promote the I-70 Hot Tag social medias, I will do that for him. And you can find the I-70 Hot Tag at the I-70 Hot Tag on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and more. Really pushing that TikTok one, guys, because Josh is almost at 600, but as soon as we get to 1,000 on TikTok, we'll be able to go live. And of course, that's a big deal because the more places we can go live, the more people can see it, and the more time or the more we can grow. Bryan J, baby, since you're filling in tonight,
yes,
why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social media? Because I know that you may not have a big social media presence, but you got a little bit, man. Because I'll jump on Twitter a little bit, and after you've been drinking or throwing a few back, you like to talk shit to some people, specifically Campbell Soup Myers, rightfully so. He deserves it. But
I'll be honest, I don't really talk a whole lot of shit.
I don't know about that, man. I've seen a couple of your posts where you've been like,
most of the time when I'm giving it to Campbell, I'm sober. So he's just fun to mess with. Now you can find me on Twitter.
He partially deserves it. So,
partially. Yeah, he deserves it. You can find me on Twitter at Bryan_J_Baby. And I am on TikTok basically so I can get you to 1,000. And I just Bryan
creating all those different.
Baby.
I was gonna say you creating all those different accounts.
No, actually, I just have one. Okay. I could do that. Work's been kind of boring. I could make a few emails and do that, but no, we're gonna try to get it naturally, man. Let's do it.
I hear you. Let's do it. So with that being said, guys, want to also give a shout out to our guest last week, Scott Tyler, the Giant Killer. Look for some new stuff coming from Scott Tyler here in the future. Scott and I got together after the it was either after the hot tag or it was after the pit stop. And Scott, I'm going to be designing a shirt or a logo that he's going to use for a shirt for Scott Tyler. So if you are interested, if you're a local independent wrestler or an independent wrestling promotion looking for a graphics designer, there's somebody who's so not great. I mean, slide in the DMs and let me know, man. We'll work you up. I made the I-70 hot tag logo. I made my CR Media logo. I do graphics for fun, for shits and giggles. So like I said, let me know and we'll work something out.
Yeah, not just T-shirts. I mean, you could do flyers, you could do posters, whatever.
Any type of graphic design that you need, you let your boy CR Media know, and we'll get you hooked up. But guys, we were halted on the podcast versions of the show, and that was because I didn't have the programs I needed to slice the audio and get it ready for podcasts. I do have the programs now, so we will be working on getting caught up on the podcast. We are a few weeks behind, but if you guys have not had the chance to check us out live, you can always go to the I-70 Hot Tag YouTube page, check out the video on demand there, and go from there. So without further ado, Bryan J. Bebe.
Yeah, I'd be taking a shot right now. Josh was here.
Hunter Dillon says, I'm going to break tradition for the first time tonight. I'm not going to break tradition at all. Bryan J. Bebe, I'm going to let you introduce our guest tonight.
Alrighty. Coming to us live tonight is... Are you ready? Adrian Surge.
All right, fantastic. I had that. I thought I had the video queued up. I didn't. I was going to play that same video that Josh did. Oh, I do have the video queued up. Hell yes.
Right on.
Hell yes. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to, since I fucked that up royally, let's do that again, Bryan J. Bebe.
All right, we can do that.
Yep.
So our guest coming to you live tonight, one of our good buddies, Adrian Surge.
How are you doing, sir?
What's going on, fellas?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot at all. Are you at Dunder?
Yeah, I infiltrated Michael Scott's office. Hope you all don't mind.
No, not at all. Not at all. I like it.
Perfect. It's perfect for this podcast.
Hey, there you go.
Appreciate you joining with us tonight, Adrian. Can't thank you enough for taking the time out of, obviously probably your busy schedule to come do something like this. The whole idea of this show, Adrian, was, Josh and I have been fans of independent professional wrestling for a long time. We grew up here in Missouri and Kansas. And we were at a show and we were like, hey man, like everybody's got a flipping podcast about WWE or AEW or whatever, mainstream wrestling shit I do. But nobody talks about like local independent. There's not a whole lot out there is what I mean. So, we pride ourselves on being one of the only few ones that just specifically stick to independent in Kansas and Missouri. So with that being said, Adrian, I'll start off every single interview we do by asking you to tell us and our viewers, who is Adrian Surge?
Well, Adrian Surge is absolutely the guy that just caused that slight technical malfunction with that video. I got to live up to the gimmick, lights out, so I pulled the plug on you for a second just to get you. Got to let you know who you're dealing with. But no, Adrian Surge is he's a guy. I'm a guy, I guess. That's me. I really enjoy the character aspect of pro wrestling, and so I think that's where I end up shining. So my character, Adrian Surge, is someone that will do pretty much anything it takes to win, and will tell you and give you the business while doing so. So sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't always work, but it's going to be for sure entertaining, regardless of where I'm at, who I'm against, what's going on. I guarantee you're going to walk away being like, this idiot did something really dumb and entertaining. So if anyone has watched me anywhere, I hope that is something that you've had at least the thought of while I'm in the ring there.
1,000%.
Oh yeah. So kind of walk us through how you got started in professional wrestling, how you broke in. What was that story?
Yeah. I started a long time ago. Obviously been a fan for a long time. And actually started training a little bit. I actually did the majority of my training not in St. Louis. I found a spot over in Illinois, and I really wanted to learn a lot of the ropes and things, but not do it in my hometown per se. Get that sort of like cheap kind of hometown reaction, and really wanted to just like get out of my comfort zone and really force myself to have to perform in front of different types of people and to do that. So trained in a multitude of different places. I did do a lot of my refining and everything over at the Dynamo Pro Dojo in St. Louis, where a lot of the guys that you know definitely started out there and got going there. So that's the place that I give the majority of the credit for getting me where I am today. But really, I think the start was just getting myself really uncomfortable and not kind of being in my hometown, which I think has paid off just light years at this point. Lights out. But yeah, it's the name's nothing crazy special. It has nothing to do with Pokemon, although I'm a Pokemon fan, like I'm a nerd, like all wrestlers are. But no, I was walking through like a I don't know if it was Sports Authority back then, whenever that existed, or like Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that. But I found this shirt and it said "Lights Out" on it, and it was like this cool like kind of like storm in the background with like a dark city, and I was like, that's kind of cool. So I went from Lights Out, got Surge from there. Now I got like tons of puns and things for everything. So, but that's the origin of where like Adrian's just a name. Like it was just like, your first name. Spit out the first one right before my first match, and that's what it's been, and kind of stuck. So,
well, and that's really awesome, because I'm friends with these guys. I fill in when they need me to. Co-hosting, and that's the first time that I've heard anyone say that they trained out of state. Now, I know Campbell Myers was training here, and then he went to Black and Brave and came back. But you're the first one that I've ever heard say I went out, made myself uncomfortable to do that, and that's pretty awesome.
I think it helps. A lot of people, and I love being involved with the younger talent, the people starting out. That's where I have a lot of like my passion, what I do now. And it's really cool. And they'll all be excited because all their friends and family are going to be there. So they come out and they get this really good, usually pretty decent reaction for a newer person. And then I'll take them to a brand new place and they'll be like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do now? And so having that as my first thing, you know how to get in front of people and do that. And yeah, you got to get uncomfortable sometimes to be able to learn and to grow as a performer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Adrian, obviously, like, we've been fans for of independent wrestling for a long time, but obviously there's a lot of like, I'll tell you what, like how naive and we were when we started this. We thought, oh, we'll cover the 3 or 4 promotions in Kansas and the 4 promotions in Missouri, and we should have plenty of content there. And then, long behold, I think we're up to like 25 different companies in Kansas and Missouri alone. And I just found out about one tonight, and we'll kind of get to that. But you take us back and talk to us about the Ego Busters.
The Ego Busters, man. That is Pro Wrestling Championship Series, PWCS for short. So it ran for a multitude of years. It stopped running right before COVID kind of hit. But it was kind of if you know St. Louis Anarchy, for those out there, it's basically sort of like the sister company. It was the sister company for Anarchy, and it had a whole different concept to what like we knew wrestling as. It was basically 4 teams, and the teams would all compete against each other basically for points, and the top 2 teams at the end of the year would compete for the grand prize, which was a trophy, bragging rights, but it ended basically in your traditional kind of Survivor Series type elimination match. So basically your best guys from each team would go up, and the last man or men standing would win and hoist the trophy and kind of have bragging rights for the next year. And it allowed so many people to kind of get out of their comfort zone with their characters and try new things, but also kind of be like, what if this person ended up teaming up with this person? Like, how would that go? And team dynamics and things like that. Different. You had the Submission Squad. You probably know them and a lot of those folks. And I was on the Ego Busters, so lots of loudmouth bad guys. I had Greg Jovi as a spokesman for our team, so like that already gives you pretty much all that you need to know if you know anything about Greg Jovi. But so I had such a blast there. But honestly, I think that's what kind of launched me in the stratosphere that I'm at now, like putting me in front of the performers that I get to basically compete against on a daily, weekly basis at this point. But like Greg saw me and was like, I've had so many promoters be like, this guy's just a jerk. Like she just looks like an awful human being. And I'm like, I've had multiple promoters say that and be like, you're gonna work, be a bad guy. So that's kind of where it was. So it kind of just started from there, and started out as a tryout, and it just blossomed into this thing where I was just this main idiot for the Ego Busters. It was a lot of fun. A lot of me like begging for Greg's attention is what the last couple years were, which was a fun little dynamic. We just kind of improv out of nowhere, but really fun concept though. Like not a lot of companies will kind of move outside of the lines of what we know pro wrestling as, and that was such a fun company to work for, because everything mattered, every result mattered, every win, draw, loss mattered. So it was really cool for people that actually followed it.
Now correct me if I'm wrong, it was that promotion ran by Greg Jovi?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, it was in Spalding Hall, if I'm not mistaken.
It was, yeah. It was also in Spalding Hall. Moved around for a while, but yeah, I ended up settling in Spalding Hall the last couple of years.
I mean, it's settled. Yeah, because I remember seeing a couple shows out there myself. So, yep, I've seen you.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get these guys, the 3 of us together, and come out to Anarchy and watch.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
We're going to do that.
Yeah.
Was sometime in March, maybe. Still hammering out the details.
Next one's in April for Anarchy.
We're going. Josh and I are going to Grandel in March.
Yep, I'll be there.
That's right.
Yep.
Perfect.
So, what do you think your biggest accomplishment was in 2022? Like, anything stand out to you? Any certain matches? What was kind of the icing on the cake for 2022 for you?
I think I stood out from the crowd a lot. I'm a guy that I pride myself on just going in and doing my job and being the character and the performer that's kind of needed. And that's afforded me a lot of opportunities and a lot of work, but I think I really took it a step further than I think people, instead of just being like, oh, this guy and kind of doing that, I think a lot of people kind of saw me in what I was doing and have kind of taken me as more of a threat and more of a legit performer. And I think it's a lot of the matches that I had this year, specifically like Anarchy and Grandel and some of these other places. Matches like against Gary J and Christian Rose.
Yeah.
Just had a I feel like a really, really good match with Aaron Williams at Anarchy in January. So and I think the biggest one, I went from not being in the Dingo Invitational to not only just making it in, but also making it to like the second round. And Gary J was the one that took me out barely. I'll say barely, although he left quite an impression in that encounter. But yeah, I think I just like literally took every opportunity and then took it a step further. And I think that's really what it was about. And I think I evolved as a performer. I think I've kind of figured out what my style is and what I do. And I think a lot of people have kind of played into that and had some really strong matches in 2022. I think that's my strongest year up to date, hands down.
Oh yeah.
We got a question from the great part about this show, Adrian, is we do it live. So we also take questions from the chat.
Heck yeah.
Dean Houston wants to know, you ever wrestle in the MMWA?
I have not wrestled there yet. A lot of friends that wrestle there and have wrestled there in the past, mostly in St. Louis. I've been at Dynamo Pro, along with Anarchy and some others, Grandel and all that. So I have never been to MMWA yet, but never say never. So if they're interested, hit a brother up.
Yeah, there you go. So that's a great segue. Adrian, I'm glad you saw the rundown, brother. So earlier when I mentioned that there's promotions that we are still finding out about, Dynamo was one of those promotions. It wasn't on our list, and I noticed when I was looking at your matches and your history and stuff, I saw the work you did with Dynamo, and also noticed that you're a 2-time champion there and also a tag team champion. So what can you tell us about Dynamo Pro? And are they, do they have any upcoming dates that you're aware of?
Yeah. Dynamo's been around for a long time. Most of the guys, if you've seen them anywhere, especially that come out of the St. Louis area, have started somewhere in the roots of where that was. Pretty much everybody in the St. Louis area that's wrestled over the last 20, 25 years can draw their roots from one place, and they've kind of sprung up in different ways and evolved with different promotions since then. So that's just another one of those real big staples. Really invested in a lot of young guys right now, but guys that have been champion over there, guys like Camaro Jackson, Mike Outlaw, Ricky Cruz, myself, Benjamin Trust, guys that just work really, really hard and are trying to hone their craft and have really strong matches, but also help some of the newer guys. They've got, I mentioned their dojo and stuff, and they've got a whole new crop kind of coming through there. And it's just been a really solid place for me. That's the first place that kind of, when I jumped back over, doing more local shows after training and coming back and wanting to train with them, that was one of the first places I went. I've held their belt. I think the longest in company history was almost 3 years or something. It was almost 1,000 days. We were doing this 1,000-day counter, and Camaro, luckily, unfortunately, toppled me for one lucky break. But it's okay. I'm not bitter or anything. But no, it's been a really, really fun time there. Get to do a lot of creative stuff. Got some of my favorite storyline, long-term storytelling has gotten to be done there, which I'm really proud of. I'm a big storyteller. That's kind of where I thrive. But they've got an upcoming show. Their next dates are March 25th and 26th. That's Saturday and Sunday at the Taco and Margarita Festival at the Shea Fitz Arena in St. Louis. So pretty cool little gig there. I think the former, I don't know if he's known, James Ellsworth from WWE is actually going to be there. Not sure what formerly WWE is going to be there, possibly performing. I don't know 100%, but so it should be a really, really cool time. Obviously, tacos, margaritas, and people beating each other up. I mean, you really honestly can't have a better weekend, in my opinion. So, that's their next gig they got coming up.
Now you're their current champion, right?
I am in the faction that controls the tag team championships right now. So I am not, but I am going to get my belt back sooner or later.
All right. They need somebody to update the website, I think, then.
Yeah, you know what? Then we're going to count it, and that's probably good 1,300 days as champion at this point. So we'll take that. No, I'm just kidding. That would be. I guess that's a little. Yeah, record's online. It's all.
Yep.
It's there.
Says he's the champion, so you got to give him the belt.
Hey, yeah.
I mean, everything on the internet's 100%. Everything on the internet's 100% right.
Always.
There you go.
Every time.
I mean,
it's on the internet.
If it backs me up, yes, 100%. There's the caveat.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true.
There you go.
So, so speaking of all this talent, I know you've wrestled for a long time, and there's a lot that you've wrestled. Is there someone in the St. Louis or Kansas City area or indie scene in general that you haven't wrestled that you'd like to work with, like one or two, or?
Ooh, whoa, that's a good question. Everybody asks me, who's your favorite, or who've you had some of your best matches with? That's based in the St. Louis area.
Or Kansas City.
Or Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City's had some good ones. So I know, like, I'm just kind of looking up and down the Anarchy roster from like guys that I haven't fought. I think me and Thomas Shire would have a really fun match. Especially with kind of his style, I think would be an interesting mesh with what I do, because he's kind of no BS, and I'm kind of let's start stuff. So I think that would be a really interesting dynamic for sure. Someone from Kansas City that I've always brushed shoulders with, but we just never seem to cross paths the right way is Hollis Giroux. He wrestles out of Kansas City, and I know he's all around kind of from out there. But there's plenty of guys out there, but I just saw him the most, and I always thought he was pretty good. So we always we're either doing the same stuff or teaming up or something, but we never have gotten to actually face off. So those are a couple names right off the top of my head that I haven't faced yet. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, that'd be a really good match. You and
good.
I think so too.
He froze. Bryan J, if you can hear me, wave.
Me?
Yeah.
There he is.
I know he's not frozen anymore. I just wanted.
I can hear you.
Got to get him.
He was frozen when I started it, and then he was.
Man, this guy gives me so much shit, Adrian. The next time you're in Kansas City or we're in St. Louis, you got to, just chop him.
Done. Just chop him.
He doesn't care.
We got another question from the chat. Gears Akai said, if you could wrestle for any promotion or era, what would it be?
Ooh, era. Interesting. That's a good question. I mean, I've always been a WWE guy growing up. If you can tell, you can probably get a little bit of that from my style, just with the way I approach certain matches and stories and stuff. But I think I've added a lot of the modern kind of flair and style to it as well. So that's kind of where I draw my moniker. So probably older school WWE, probably I don't know, late 80s, 90s, somewhere in there, I think would be a good fit. Maybe early 2000s. If we're talking like nowadays, I like supporting my areas. So places like Glory Pro or CSW would be pretty cool. Just because I've seen how strong those shows are and the talent there and all that. So just give you a little bit of the era and also just current day. I just like trying to build up the areas that I'm in. I think St. Louis and Kansas City, the whole Missouri scene is pretty in a pretty good spot right now. So anything that I can do to help build that up and to keep it strong, I'm all for.
Absolutely. Gives Kai says Hollis is great. I remember a few years ago he threw a cigar at a buddy of mine and he was so heated. Good times. There you go.
Yep. I remember that cigar. I don't know if he still does that or not, but I did a couple shows that he was on at KCXW for a while. I think CCW maybe in Cape Championship. So yeah. I remember that cigar.
Yeah. He loved to throw his cigars.
He did.
We talked about Grandel, and they announced earlier today that Buddy Shepard is going to be there, and you're going to be with him.
Best buddy.
Yep. Something about the naysayers, or what does he call them?
Nega buddies.
Nega buddies. Yeah, the nega.
They're very negative. I don't know, but he still loves his buddies regardless, even when they just don't show him that love. But I got his back. We're best buddies. The buddy system still lives.
Oh, Buddy's great.
Yep.
How could you not love Buddy?
He's everybody's buddy.
Buddy is just going to come inside of you. I mean, it's just how it is.
Absolutely.
What can we expect from you and Buddy Shepard on March 18th?
We're pretty pissed from the last Grandel show back in October. There were some shenanigans that went down with Clownvis, and I just feel like that just can't go any further without us coming in and saying our piece. So if you thought we were pissed that night, buddy's gonna be laying down. He's gonna be lashing words, speaking in tongues. I don't know. He's gonna be saying some stuff though, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone's gonna be ballsy enough to challenge myself and him to any sort of match, but that's what we're going to throw down. No, if no one's going to take a match against us, seems like everybody's scared. Frodo the Ghost has actually become a ghost and he's nowhere to be found, so I don't know who's going to be brave enough to challenge myself with Buddy in my corner. So but yeah, we're gonna do an open challenge on March 18th, and we'll see if anybody's brave enough to face lights out Adrian Surge with good old Buddy in his corner.
Hey, Buddy's so they've talked to Buddy recently on the episode, and he's brilliant. Like that's one of the best characters I have seen in a long time.
It is. It's great. It's great.
We have the other the OG original I-70 hot tag co-host who's supposed to be doing something with his wife tonight, but instead he's watching the show, which is awesome. So he says, give us someone wrestling in WWE or AEW that you'd love to form a tag team with.
WWE, are we talking? If we're talking current or ever, that's we didn't specify.
Give us both.
Man, it's either got to be Shawn Michaels or Edge. Those are two of my favorites growing up. I guess I'll say Edge, and I'll explain why. I've always been told growing up, all the wrestling stuff, it's fake and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't care. It's cool as hell. My baseball coach would always yell at us because some of us would watch it and talk about it. He's like, you watch that stuff. But, even though I knew it, there was guys out there that could really kind of just take me out of it for a moment and kind of suspend disbelief. And I always looked up to the bad guys. The heels were always my favorite. And I always remember Edge just being one of the guys. I'm like, I know this is like this, but like, why is he pissing me off so much? Like, he was just so good at that. And so I always respected those guys that could still like get to me, even though I knew kind of what it was and how things were being done. So you probably can't figure it out, but I've modeled both of them in their antics side of them into what I do today. But I would do that just to grab their knowledge. If I had to pick someone from AEW, it'd be Christian, 100%. I think he's one of the most underrated workers ever. But he's just so good about being just an annoying little jerk, and always kind of makes you remember something that he does.
Absolutely, love those answers.
Great picks. So let's get back to Anarchy for a minute. So going into the Dingo Invitational, you faced Gary J and had that. It was an amazing match. We watched it Monday on the on the pit stop. So that handprint on your back. So kind of walk us through that a little bit, and how long did that take to heal? Because that might still be there. For all we know.
It definitely still had semblances of being there after a week and a half. I do remember tracking it that far. It was in a spot that's like I clearly have to have like a mirror to be able to like see it. Like I couldn't like it's not like on my shoulder where I can be like, it's still there. But I do remember tracking it for about a week and a half, and you could still see some stuff there. Got lots of comments on social media like, there's you can press charges on them because I'm pretty sure they can pull fingerprints off it, and those sorts of things. So real clever stuff. So and I think it fit really well for what we were going for too. The story of that match was I clearly know Gary chops the crap out of everybody and leaves a mark, and I obviously am I'm not quite Sheamus white, but I'm pretty dang white. So I knew that would get a reaction. So I mean, it was the match was kind of structured that way so that I played away from his chops the whole match. I even got some in on him, which is hilarious. And then he just went nuts on me at the end, and I'm tough, and just chickened out at the end, and I paid for it. So fired me up a little bit. So I thought I was going to actually pull it across the finish line, but that didn't work out that way. But
it's always anytime I'm trying to find the right way to say this, but like anytime like Josh and I see Adrian Surge now since then, like Josh will always be like,
that guy.
dude, do you remember the handprint that Gary J left? I'll be like, yeah, no, I remember. And like it's just it's like I said, it's just one of those things where it resonates with you for a while because even like Brian J said, we watched it on Monday and fuck, dude. I
Get
thought,
audible.
yeah, like
you clench up. You're like, oh no, thanks.
Yeah.
It's a moment, and I think
It
that's maybe what I've outlined kind of in what I do in my style over the last year, especially is like, what's the moment? Like, what are we building towards here? If you guys watched the last Anarchy show, faced Aaron Williams, I stole his tie. He always tries to get fired up. He takes the clothes off. I'm like, no, let's not do that. No, in fact, I'm going to take your tie. Like, what are you going to do now? And so like, but just little things like that. And I think that's kind of helped, get both guys, the reactions that they're looking for. And again, something different. And that's kind of what, and just like that, all it took was one shot to my back. And, now I'm the handprint guy. So,
Hey, you know what? It was a great moment.
Yeah.
It was a great moment.
It looked like a burn.
Yeah, kind of felt like it too, especially in the shower afterwards. I was like, "Ooh, what? Oh, yep, there it is." Okay, yeah.
So
it looked like someone tattooed it.
We're
probably could.
We're winding down here, Adrian, but we got Evangelistico. He says, "Hello, boys."
Oh, my dude.
Yeah,
fellow rowdy rough boy over there.
Made
He's the rowdy one. I'm the rough one, and we got the boy Nick King. Rowdy Rough Boys, St. Louis Anarchy.
Yep. Speaking of St. Louis Anarchy and Rowdy and Rough Boys, Sean, I want to talk about Evangelistico, you and the other Rowdy Boys. And
you had to bring him up.
Yep. Because we talked to Evangelistico about it. And I want to talk to you about it a little bit. The portrait with the dog, man.
Yeah.
Don't you think that was a little bit far for Evan to hire somebody to draw the picture of the dog? The dog's dead. I mean, did you really have to do that to him? There's certain things in wrestling where, what I put that up there with, because, and the reason why I put it up so high, I want to state the reason why I put it up so high is because the picture was just god awful ugly. Whoever drew that picture, I would beat him up. I get your money back. It was awful. Great picture of the dog, but whoever drew Evan needed beat up for that.
Didn't do it quite justice. We were just trying to support someone during the hard financial times, man. And
I put that up there with Big Boss Man making Al Snow eat his dog and Big Boss. We go with Big Boss Man again. Yeah, Big Boss Man was a dickhead. Big Boss Man, crashing Big Show's dad's funeral. It was a real low blow, man. Like kind of talk to us about that whole thing with you and Evan and Sean.
I mean, he's just kind of been a real low point for us. I mean, I feel like we've given him multiple chances to just mind his business, go back to commentary, which he does a fantastic job on. Him and Sophie King, I think, are an underrated duo. If I'm taking personal feelings strictly aside, they're a fantastic combo on commentary. He needs to stay in his lane and he needs to get out of the ring and stay out of there, because he's trying to take spots from good people like myself, Nick King, some other people that have really made their mark and have taken advantage of it. And he keeps poking us, especially Evan, for everything. And so Evan finally just got fed up and was like, "We got to do something. We got to get him out of here for good." And
so instead of just kicking his ass,
I did that to Dingo, and he still took it as, I still got to come back, and I beat him in the Dingo. That should have been a sign for him. That was like a gift from above. Like, hey, I probably should just stick to my commentary, and he didn't listen. So,
Greg Jovi's just kicking ass at commentary. So I guess Sean just thought he was.
Well, he's getting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, stick to one thing, or you're going to lose your spot to Greg there too. Like, I don't really know what to tell him at this point. So he's going to get what's coming to him. He thinks he's going to go on probably some grand crusade after that dog thing. Take that as just, head shaved, everything like that. Just take it, go back to commentary, sit there. That's your final warning. We ain't having this conversation anymore. So he should have quit after the dingo. He got what's coming to him. We're trying to finance, some poor artists, pockets, in these hard times. And
You got the poor part right. Jesus.
Yeah, we're trying to help people. We try to help people. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help Sean find his place in this wrestling world, and he's refusing to listen. So he's probably going to get what's coming to him.
So now that we're winding down, Adrian, I want to ask you, what other ventures and bookings you got going on in the next few weeks that you want to tell us and our viewers about?
Yeah, I got some cool stuff coming up in the Missouri area over the next couple months. Obviously, we've talked about the Grandel show, which I think is going to be pretty freaking awesome. There's some really awesome matchups there. Honestly, I think the Motor City Machine Guns match is going to be really, really high octane, if you like, good tag teams.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow, that's going to be a banger. And I think it's Shire has a really good match too. So like I said, me and Buddy will be there. He's gonna raise hell, and I'll be right there beside him to deliver some justice to some unfortunate soul. Hopefully that'll take a challenge. So that's Grandel. That's March 18th. March 25th and 26th is that Dynamo show. Tacos and margaritas. It's a festival. Like, what more can you ask for in St. Louis?
Exactly.
So, we'll be there. And then obviously Anarchy, April 14th is their next show. Not sure what we're doing yet, but the Rowdy Rough Boys will be there, and Rowdy and Rough, and the boy will probably be with us too. So that's some of the big stuff.
There you go. You go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
So where can we find Adrian Surge merch? Is it just at shows? Do you have a pro wrestling tees or anything?
I don't. I'm lame. But I do have stuff at all the shows that I'm at. I got shirts, towels, wristbands, cool little like lightning bolt tattoos, just little things like 8x10s, all the fun stuff. So always got my stuff. So if you see me at a show, holler, I got it. Maybe I'll be cool and get a store one of these days. So I don't know. We'll see.
The big question is, do you sell the red sashes?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of us out there that want those.
Oh, we got. Okay. Well, this might be a new business venture. I used to sell the Surge soda when it was readily available. Now I can't even find that stuff anywhere. They probably found out I exist, and they pulled it from their shelves, not wanting to be associated with me.
You should have been their spokesman.
That's what I tagged them on it. Anyway, they're probably they're looking at it. They got offended. I don't know, something. But yeah, we should look into those sashes. That is, the Rowdy Rough Boys definitely have a cool dynamic I enjoy. All right. More money opportunities. I like it.
There you
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
And then Adrian, where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Absolutely. I'm on Facebook, Twitter at Adrian Surge, Instagram still Adrian Surge, YouTube. There's the YouTube channel. I'll post stuff every so often. Been posting a lot of stuff lately. Lots of real fun, good stuff. Pretty much any social media outlet, you'll most likely find me there. So just search for Adrian Surge, you'll most likely find it.
All right.
Hey, I just wanted to thank you for not ending the interview with "I have to go poop."
Hey, you know what? If that's, it could be worse, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, sometimes you have to, you know.
Did you see Evan's interview?
I saw the tail end of it, I think.
Okay, so Evan, usually what we do is we interview people for the first half of the show, and then the second half we break down like all the news and the events going on in Kansas and Missouri.
Sure.
Well, Evan was our only guest that has ever done this, but he was like, well, are we done? And I was like, yeah, no, we're doing it. And I was like, unless you want to hang out. And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll hang out. So then he does. And he was super cool about it. Super, super cool about it. I mean, like the show went on for almost 2 hours. We broke down that St. Louis Anarchy card, and a bunch of other stuff. And then at the end, finally, he's like, guys, are we done? And I was like, yeah, we're wrapping up. And he's like, all right, because I have to take a shit. So I'm going to jump off here. he's like, I got to take a massive shit, so I'm gonna jump off here, and we were like, oh, we've never ended it that way. So
Hey,
It was one of the funniest things.
Good guy Evan trying to just play the role, hang out with y'all, and
he
committed to the end.
Yeah.
You knew he was probably hurting. That was probably rowdy after that.
It probably hit him like halfway through the second half of the show where he was like, "Fuck, I didn't realize how long this was."
Oh man, jeez.
Yeah, but it's it was the perfect way to end it for him. Yeah, I mean Evan's pretty awesome, but don't let these guys fool you. They say that he was the only
say he
guest
had a
to
shitty
stay.
time on this podcast and there's in the most positive way possible.
Yeah, but don't let these guys fool you. He wasn't the first guest to stay through the whole thing. I remember, I think, what was it, episode 10?
Oh yeah, Bryan.
When a certain guy interviewed and then stayed through the whole thing when I was working in St. Louis.
My bad, Bryan J. Look at that.
I'm just busting your chops. You know that, brother.
He's got to get you.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, I had nothing better to do than sit in a hotel room and talk. So,
Yeah.
Oh man.
I-70 hot tag best moments include that and Roscoe Leach getting up with his whole ass hanging out. Yep.
Agreed, Kai.
Yeah,
Yep.
That was
if you're not wearing pants for these things, man, you just gotta be.
I mean, he had the pants. He just didn't have the belt.
Not on the back, but
Holy
cow.
So Adrian, I don't know if you heard in the intro, just something we ask every guest that comes on to do is we'll put you center screen. And then ask you to just turn on the gimmick and just say, "This is Adrian Surge, and you're watching the I-70 hot tag."
All right, sounds good.
All right, give me one moment. I'm going to remove us and put you center, and then just go when you're ready.
All right, let's do this. This is Lights Out, Adrian Surge, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast. Print, let's go.
Hell yeah, man. That was awesome.
That was
I appreciate that, sir.
Yeah.
So Adrian, again, thank you so much for taking the time to do this, brother. We greatly appreciate you. Other than that, man, if you ain't got anything else, you nailed it, and you're good for the night, man.
Cool. I can get see Evan approved it, so we're good.
Yep. There you go.
All good.
You got Evan's approval.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for having me, y'all. Much appreciated. Have a great night. Look forward to seeing y'all soon.
Absolutely.
Right, thanks for being on, man. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right, everybody. Adrian Surge, lights out. Adrian Surge. Appreciate everybody joining for that interview and hanging out with us. As you guys know, this is the part of the show where we take a 5-minute intermission.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one problem. I don't have the 5-minute intermission video. Let me see if I Nope. I do not. Okay, that's all right. I'll tell you what.
We better get tech support Tony on it.
Heard that. He asked me that I don't call him tech support Tony anymore, but he's not here, so I don't give a shit what he thinks.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
I got you.
I'm just kidding. I love ABJ. Everybody loves ABJ. Dean says, good interview. I'll tell you what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to use the 5-minute countdown video for our intermission. I do apologize. Josh is usually the gentleman who does the 5-minute intermission videos. And I don't know if I just didn't get the memo or I didn't get it at all. But just give us 5 minutes, guys, and we will be right back.
slips from behind. O'Connor attempt. Flair rolls through. Flair rolls through. Rolling Thunder. Dropping. Jones catches one right in the chest. Jones is down. Wait a minute. He's in the middle of the ring. That angle. I think Flair sees it too. Flair's going up to the top. Flair sees this moment, folks. He's calling for it. Frog splash. And Flair Dior takes this one home.
This is the premier superstar, Campbell Myers, aka Killer Cam, aka Soup, one half of the Midwest's best tag team, the Premier, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast.
Steps over. Insecurity. Outlaw out on his feet. Davey Bagel hooks him up. Bagel's looking for that brain eater. From behind Outlaw, handful of tights. Not enough to put Vega away. Vega coming in hot, makes a big boot again. Let's go, Vega. Has him hooked. Whoa! Right in the center of the ring with Vega. Vega with a brain eater. Brain with a brain eater. 1, 2, 3.
This is Pistol Danger, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Eddie gets more height, more velocity on that. Probably gets the free. Going for a Destino, perhaps? No. Rose catches him. Stun gun over the ropes. Styles clash. Wait, rolls it over. Oh no! And a second one. Good lord, just for added emphasis. Yeah, you ain't kicking out of that. It's all scrub.
This is the Mile High Magnum Dak Draper, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast.
Line sends Jeremy Wyatt out of the ring. Dak Draper now. No schoolboy by Jackson. 2 count only. Jackson up to his feet. Into the fireman's carry. Magnum KO. We got a hook in the leg and a cover. 2 and 3. That'll do it. The winner of this matchup and the new Central States champion, the Mile High Magnum Dak Draper, in a hard-fought battle against 3 of the top competitors here in Central States Wrestling.
I am the Giant Killer, Scott Tyler, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Price, down at 2 on either side. Price, Maestro Cradle. No, Shota stopped him halfway. Price got out of it in 2.5. Shota downstairs with the knee. And Shota, no time to argue with the official here, Shota. If you want to leave with a lasting impression, it would certainly be time to keep your attention on Ethan Price. Up and over the top goes Shota, roll through from Price. He'll carry on through. Wow, Ethan Price, fisherman suplex, perhaps. Oh no, it's a package DDT. Look at the outside leg. Count of 3. Ethan Price. That's a quality win.
This is the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, current, reigning, defending Impact World Champion, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
And now, CR Media presents the I-70 Hot Tag. Brought to you by Chaos, or with your hosts, Chaos Chase and the real Josh. Bryan J. Baby. All right. I butchered that.
Yeah, it's all right. No one's listening anyway. Sorry, I had to throw in the major league reference there.
So Josh and Gears of Kai brought up a really good point. The I-70 Hot Tag is sponsored by Big Daddy's Donuts. That has 3 locations, 2 in Raymore and 1 in Belton. So if you are in the Raymore Belton area, if you are in the Kansas City area, go check out Big Daddy's Donuts. I wouldn't say world. I mean, could I say world renowned? I
mean, you can.
I can say whatever the fuck
I
want.
I guess you can, because I mean, they must be good. Every time I go there, like I've been by there. See, in the last 3 weeks, I've been by there like 7 times. Every time it's been like, like right before 10 o'clock and fucking sold out every time.
Well,
like
I'll tell you
every
what,
time.
I know Josh and I talked about this, but I always kind of like to bring it up. There was a lot of people when Garth Brooks was doing his like comeback tour, like his anniversary tour, where he did like all the concerts here in Kansas City just a few years ago. He was like during the press conference, he was asking people like good places to eat in Kansas City, or like great food places to try in Kansas City. And a bunch of people mentioned Big Daddy's Donuts. So, they're one of our sponsors, guys. If you haven't already, go check them out. They are amazingly good. Our other sponsor that we just partnered with this past week is Dean's Trophies. And Dean's, they do more than just trophies, but they also they do t-shirts, they do engravings, they do all kinds of customary work. So definitely head out to Dean's Trophies. Josh had our fantasy football trophy made there by Dean's Trophies. So we have our nameplate changed every year. I say every year, but it's been a couple years since it's been years since it's been changed, because somebody hasn't given it back. You know how that goes. Fantasy football, right? But Gears of Kai says every Thursday I crave donuts, and I've not gotten a chance to get them. Every time I've gone down there, they were sold out as well.
See, Kai knows what I'm talking about. I mean,
it's crazy.
But see, crazy. I live on the Kansas side, so it's a little trek for me. So I wait for work.
Yeah.
And then once I get a call, I go. Just doesn't work that way.
Yes, agreed. So we've got a few things to break down here as far as local independent wrestling goes.
Yeah.
Trailblazer Championship Wrestling has an event announcement. They announced their first event of 2023, and it's going to be at the Ottawa, Kansas National Guard Armory. Give me 1 second here. I got fancy here. Boom, the Bunkhouse Brawl, guys, and it's going to be Saturday, March 25th, the Army National Guard in Ottawa, Kansas. $15 general admission, $10 for kids 12 and under. Kids 5 and under are free. Big shout out to Trailblazer for getting going for the new year. But it's going to be Bunkhouse Brawl. So doors will open at 6. Bell time will be at 7. So guys, if you are in the Ottawa, Kansas area on March 25th, make sure you go check that out and go support the local independent wrestling scene and show Trailblazer some love.
I'm probably going to be in St. Louis eating tacos, watching wrestling.
That's right.
Well, that's the dream, right?
I was gonna say I don't know if I can sling 2 trips to St. Louis, but I really want to.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, my work's about to be really upset because I just booked a European trip for my wife and I's anniversary in November. So I have to find a way to break that to the job.
Yeah, depends. They might be all right with it.
Hey, Dean Houston says Shylin will also be there. That's badass. They haven't announced any matches yet, but I love getting the inside scoop from Dean, letting us know that Shylin will be there for sure.
Absolutely. So. We may have to skip out on the tacos then.
Yeah, there you go. Josh says, interesting, their first show outside of Olathe. So,
yeah, I noticed that.
Indeed.
So next up, there's Grandel Wrestling, St. Louis versus the World 2. So some match announcements for that is Tom Lawler, Jarrell Nelson, and Royce Isaacs versus Benjamin Trust of Warhorse. How you can't get better than Warhorse. And then you see Davey Vega. So I mean, this is going to be a hard hitting match. I think it'll be good.
Team Filthy versus Team St. Louis. Obviously they had to make some changes with Grindhouse not being able to go toe to toe with Motor City Machine Guns. So, but hey man, watching Benjamin Trust, Warhorse, and Davey Vega take on Team Filthy will be just as good in my opinion. So.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah, Davey Vega. I mean, it doesn't matter where Davey Vega's at on the card. Davey Vega's gonna kick ass. So
yeah, he's gonna kill it wherever he is.
That's right.
So and then the next up is Buddy Shepard with Adrian Surge.
Yeah,
they're gonna address. So I mean,
they're gonna address earlier, the nega buddies.
Absolutely, you said earlier. They kind of had to switch things up. Motor City Machine Guns, if they don't have any opponents, I'm just saying.
I didn't think of that, Brian.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You might have just got the I-70 hot tag in some hot water, brother.
Hey, this is just me fantasy booking here. This isn't me saying, hey, this is going to happen.
I know, but I mean. If you got the inside, I mean,
I have zero inside scoop. I know zero people.
I know, I know. But what I'm saying is that I'm a simple man. 2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
10 + 10 is 20. And if Motor City Machine Guns don't have opponents, and Buddy Shepard and Adrian Surge show up there,
that's what I'm
all
saying.
On their lonesome. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I just kind of put 2 and 2 together,
That's right. Wanna holler at Blair Dior. Appreciate Blair Dior jumping in, watching with us. Josh wants to know if we asked Adrian if he has let the buddy system come inside him yet.
No, we did not. But you know what, Josh? They're friends. They're on the same team. Of course he has.
That's what real friends do.
That's what real friends do.
Put each other through the buddy system and come inside each other.
Yeah. That's what you have to do. I mean, come on, Josh. And we lost Chase. See, everyone, I just want to let you know. Chase thinks that I say stuff like this when I'm drunk off whiskey. No, this is just me.
All right. Sorry, I needed a minute. Just needed a minute.
Of course. It's all good.
Oh, Motor City Machine Guns versus Technical Difficulties. That's right.
Yes.
We broke that last week.
That's
and
right.
I was gonna put it on the I was going to put it on the rundown, and then I was like, no, we did that last week. Damn it.
Weren't even thinking of that.
Josh caught a slip, and that's what's happened. Dean wants to say what up to Blair. And then also Casey Houston says, hey guys. Gears brings up a really good point. we come inside of our friends and we help them finish, and it can really take a load off.
Kai knows.
Anyways, MMWA is going to run an event this Saturday. And also they announced that the online sales are closed and that only standing room is available.
Ooh.
So well, they said standing room tickets will still be available. I don't know if that means that they only have standing room available or what that means, but if they sold out, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's really badass. Yeah.
Yeah, good for them. You know, we've got a couple of people we know that are going to be on this card. Slammer.
Yeah, I've seen Slammer. I've seen looks like Derek Stone, maybe?
No. Although Moondog Rover looks like Derek Stone if Derek Stone went up the mountain with Moses and came back down.
And ate a cow. I'm just kidding. That's just a joke. See, now you don't have to hide the laughing. Just do it behind the screen.
There you go.
No, that should be a good event. There's a lot of good wrestlers on there.
Yep. That's going to be at the South Broadway Athletic Club in St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know if I guess general admission, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. But yeah, go check out MMWA Pro Wrestling this weekend, or not this weekend. Yes, this weekend. Sorry. And go check that out. So, here we go. It's always that way at NWA 500 to 600 people.
Dang.
Nice.
It's a good crowd.
Yep. MMWA is killing it, man. Yes, they are. All right. Next on the docket, sir, we've got a St. Louis Anarchy announcement for As Seen on Anarchy, which will be their next event on April 14th. And that match is going to be the Lone Coyote, Christian Rose, defending the Destination Championship, formerly known as the Journey Pro Championship, against Spitfire Davey Vega.
That's a match that I really, really would love to see live, especially at Anarchy.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's a hard one to pass up.
It is. And that might be the one we wind up going to. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, Christian Rose killing it right now. Had all the momentum, as Journey Pro closed their doors. Davey Vega, we've talked about a million times on this show, is just absolutely running roughshod.
So good.
And just having a killer run. And so, yeah, this match is going to be, especially somewhere like St. Louis Anarchy. This match is going to be hard hitting. And it's just going to be an ass whooping.
It's just going to be a fight.
Yep.
Like these two, there'll be some wrestling in there, but it's going to be a dog fight.
Agreed. All right. So then next up, guys, we got an update today from our friends over at Central States Wrestling. There's been a lot of changes at CSW, and the main reason why that is because that weekend, as everybody knows, we don't fiddle in mainstream wrestling on this show. The show is mainly about, not mainly, it is about Kansas and Missouri independent professional wrestling. However, one of the things that I will say is that, anytime mainstream wrestling comes to town, we tend to talk about it. And, we talked about AEW when AEW came to the Independence Event Center and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And whenever our talent here in the area gets an opportunity to work those shows, we like to talk about it. So part of that is, if you had not heard, Tony Khan announced a couple months ago that they will start doing ROH shows, and they will start playing them on the ROH Honor Club until they find a network that will take on ROH. So they're going to start tapings for ROH. And a lot of our guys here in the area have an opportunity to go do that. One of those guys who was a pretty hot commodity in ROH before it was purchased was the Mile High Magnum, Dak Draper. So unfortunately, we want our guys. We want to see our guys, and that we want to be able to watch them every opportunity we get. We fell in love with those guys, watching them around here and stuff. And, for as much as
I think you cut out there, Chase.
No, I'm listening.
No.
What do you got going on over there, Brian?
I ain't got nothing going on.
Sounds like something's rubbing against your leg.
No, it's upstairs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I ain't got nothing rubbing against my leg. We already talked about Buddy Shepherd, all right?
Yeah. Gears of Kai says this show is a perfect example of card subject to change. It's unfortunate, but also great news for our local talent. And Gears said it exactly right. We want to be able to see our guys, all the time, because that's why we love going to these shows. But we also know how talented our guys are and how much they could showcase to, the world and whatnot. And this is an opportunity for Dak to to be able to do that. And that's what's awesome is I want to bring up the fact that when Central States Wrestling posted it on their Facebook page, they had mentioned that Dak was not going to, because he was going to honor the commitment to them. And they let Dak out of his contract for that event to go do that because they know how much that means to Dak. And that's awesome. That's one of the main reasons why Josh and I do a lot of work with CSWs, because we love we love supporting, we love supporting the promotions like that and whatnot. So that was really cool to me. That kind of resonated with me that I read that they, that, hey, like we're going to let you go do that. So
they, like Kai said, they deserve the opportunity. And
absolutely.
I mean, Dak's going to be back in Central States.
Absolutely. I don't think anybody, I think if a talent came to them and said, hey, I have an opportunity to wrestle for ROH, AEW, or NWA or WWE, I don't think many promotions would tell their guys no. But the fact that Dak came to CSW and said, hey, I made a commitment to be here on February 25th, and I'm going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've been invited to go do this. And then for CSW to turn around and say, you know what, we appreciate you doing that, but because regardless of, he's still the champion. And so CSW turning around and saying, hey, you know what, go ahead. We want you to take that opportunity. Like I said, it says a lot. It says a lot for both parties, both Dak and them. So
it's like that everywhere in St. Louis and Kansas City that I've seen. Like a while back, like Daniel Garcia was supposed to be at Anarchy, and he had to pull out because that Tuesday he got a call from Tony Khan, and he went to go work a dark match, and he ended up signing with AEW. So, I mean, that's something that Kansas City and St. Louis do. And of course, Matt Jackson's like, look, I mean, you got to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, Scott Tyler says Dak is a real one for that. Good luck to him. Absolutely.
Yes, he is.
So, that kind of puts, the spotlight, if you will, back on the DWF championship. Do you think You think Jeremy Wyatt has a chip on his shoulder going into February 25th?
Oh, I think he does. I think this is going to just kind of piss him off to be like, you know what? He's not coming here. He'd rather be there. Who am I going to wrestle? Who am I going to fight? You know?
Well, Jeremy Wyatt's going to fight Jake something. So, but it's for Jeremy Wyatt. He's not the CSW champion, and he's faced a lot of criticism, myself included, for carrying around a championship that shouldn't be recognized anymore. But
true,
not to, we just talked about all this praise for Dak and all this praise for CSW. Not to take anything away from that, but you put yourself in Jeremy Wyatt's position, where Jeremy Wyatt's like, okay, you all don't recognize me as your champion anymore, but I'm going to be the only one here on February 25th. Like I said, not that Jeremy Wyatt needs a bigger chip on his shoulder.
Right.
But if I'm Jeremy Wyatt, it makes that little peanut head of his just a little bit bigger. So.
Oh yeah. He'll go in with that chip, and I mean, he's not, I don't want to say he's not going to lose the belt, but he doesn't want to. Because then if someone else has the belt, eventually those belts, you're going to have to have a unification of those. And
you can't have two champions for.
And he's not going to want to be the one who lost the belt. Now someone else has that opportunity,
Yep. I-70 Hot Tag Podcast says, can't wait for the Wyatt promo for this event. Absolutely. Gears Kai says Jeremy Wyatt always has a chip on his shoulder. It's called holding a championship that was discontinued.
You're not wrong, technically.
Yeah, technically not wrong. I mean, it wasn't discontinued, but I mean, Josh wants to know if my son is going to be ready to cheer Jake something. I don't know, man. I think Dimitri's going to be pretty torn when it comes to this event, because Dimitri does not like Jake something, because the last time Dimitri saw Jake something was at Lemonade in the Park.
Yep.
And Lemonade Park. Sorry, not Lemonade
Park.
in the Park.
Yep.
Lemonade in the Park is a different.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
But anyways, Lemonade Park, and that was when Jake something flipped him off, and he went looking for Jake something that night to go punch Jake something, quote unquote, punch Jake something in the nuts. Is what Dimitri was looking for. But now he's got to go up against Megamind, and that's Dimitri's nickname for Jeremy Wyatt is Megamind. So now
I can see it.
Now we'll see what happens with Dimitri. If Dimitri cheers Jake something, or if he cheers Megamind.
Well, I do know one thing: he'll be cheering with the yellow hat on.
That's right. Gears of Kai says, put Dimitri in that match, make it a triple threat, and let him get his redemption against Jake something. Might be a run-in afterwards. So
it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that was what was so funny about that whole thing was like all these Dimitri kept walking around and asking like he asked DJ, he asked DJ's friends, and he was asking other talent like where Jake something is. And I'm like, please, like, don't tell him. I was like, because you all don't understand. Like, he
will do it.
He's just like, he's a kid, and he's what Dimitri is very hard headed. When he gets his mindset on something, he insists he's going to do it no matter what. So I was afraid that if they told Dimitri where Jake something was, Dimitri would walk up and punch Jake something in the nuts, like just because he wanted to. So, but yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting.
You're right, Scott. He is a young savage.
Yeah. So we also got word that Arjun Singh and Davey Vega won't be able to be there as well. So just a little bit of, I mean, I'm not worried about it CSW puts on fantastic events. I have all the faith in CSW that they will pull it through with the card that they have and be able to make some more matches before the event.
Absolutely.
The I-70 hot tag will still be there as a sponsor. So, hey, when are you guys going to get Dirty Deeds Daniel Maxon on? I don't know, man. We'll have to MaxiPad, Daniel MaxiPad. At least that's what they called him at the last New Breed show I went to. The crowd was calling him MaxiPad.
Tell you what, Dean, we'll get Josh, who's supposed to be on a date with his wife right now. We'll get him on that.
Yep. Josh, reach out to Daniel Maxon.
Josh is going to hate us after the show.
I know. Hey, he asked for it. He came in the chat. I did the same thing.
He did.
It was supposed to be my 10-year anniversary, and it was funny because my wife was dog sick that day, so we didn't do anything. So that's why I wound up jumping in the chat because she went to bed because she didn't feel good. So
yeah, she's in bed. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, like I said, definitely no shortage of confidence for CSW.
No.
They're gonna rock it out. I-70
None
hot tag is
whatsoever.
still gonna be there to be a sponsor. So February 25th, man, come out to the Armory and
see, now he's making excuses. Josh making excuses now. Anyway, I have full confidence in Strider, and knowing him and talking to him for years. I mean, it's going to be a good show. We're not going to miss anything. I mean, that's one less time we have to see Roscoe. So, I think we're all good with not seeing his butt crack.
Absolutely. So guys, if you guys haven't already, if you guys are in the Kansas and Missouri area, make sure you go check out CSW When the Levee Breaks on Saturday, February 25th at the Lenexa, Kansas National Guard Armory. That event's going to be headlined by Jeremy Wyatt and Jake Something for the DWF Championship. So, like I said, make sure you guys get out there and check that out. Now that Arjun's out of the picture, anybody can get it. There you go. Scott Tyler's ready. Scott Tyler's ready for his next opponent, guys. That's awesome.
And man, I would I'd put anyone against Scott. I mean, the way he's looked the last 2 weeks or 2 shows, man, Scott's killing it.
Yep.
Giant killer.
That's right.
That's exactly what he is.
So guys, real quick before we close out, there is before we close out, we always promote the events coming up in the area. Since we don't have a whole lot to go over, I did want to take an opportunity. Space Cowboy Jason Jones, who is a friend of CSW and a friend of ours here on the show. Space Cowboy Jason Jones runs a promotion called Mid-States Wrestling, and they are having an event this weekend. Is it this weekend? I think it is, right?
I haven't. That hasn't come up on my scroll yet. I think it is from.
Yes, it'll be this Saturday at 7 p.m. At the Harrison Fairgrounds indoor building in Arkansas. You can get tickets for $10, guys. I already forgot her name, but Kelsey, she's right there behind Jason, the blonde. We saw her at XWE. Thought she was really good.
So
obviously,
good.
you've got Luke Langley, and then of course Space Cowboy himself, all going to be there. So guys, if you are in the South Missouri area, like really close to the border, slide down to Arkansas this Saturday, Harrison, Arkansas, and get you a $10 ticket to see some good wrestling. Space Cowboy Jones does some good work down there, guys. So
yeah, and it's like what, 4 hours away from here, 4.5 ish. I mean, like Luke Langley alone is worth $10. He may be kind of a dick, in the ring.
Kind of.
But I mean, dude.
Yeah. He's
good.
He's a phenomenal talent. Phenomenal talent. Luke kills it, man. But that is going to do it for the show. Bryan J. Bebe. We're going to run down these future shows real quick. Give me 1 second here, because I forgot to change the part that that's not a big deal. I forgot to change the part on the rundown that tells me who our future guests are, so I'm just going to run through it right here. So on February 11th this weekend, MMWA in St. Louis, Slammer will be there, plus many others. If you are in the St. Louis area, go check out MMWA. And then on February 25th, we've got a loaded day for professional wrestling. If you are in the state of Missouri or in the Kansas City area, you are not going to be shorted of any kind of wrestling. There will be plenty for you. On the Kansas City, Kansas side, Jake Boss says, "What's up, Chase and Bryan J, baby?"
What's up, Jake?
Appreciate Jake Boss. Anyways, CSW win the levy breaks at the Lenexa, Kansas National Guard Armory. Gonna see, like I said, Jake Something and Jeremy Wyatt for the DWF Championship there. Also in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, Salute to the Soldiers. You're gonna see Matt Sydal and WWE Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton are gonna be there. And then on the Kansas side, our friends over at XWE are hosting Heartbreak Brawl in Salina, Kansas. Stormy Renee, Kuda, all of your XWE, KWA talent is going to be there in-house. Even those scumbags known as Valencia, E-Paz, both of those two dipshits will be there. So the 25th, I have a tryout for WWN. They are a part of NXT. I'm excited. Hell yes, Blair. Hell yes, dude.
That's
good
awesome
for you, brother. But yeah, those little scumbags, Valencia E-Paz, are going to be at XWE along with their cronies in the Empire, Ray Leon, and Dick.
Dick. Yeah, I got to put up with him next Thursday. Dick. You know what? I'm not on call next week. I may just start drinking in the middle of the show.
There you go.
Josh will have to put up with it, right?
That's right. And then on February 26th, guys, Glory Pro is doing Anniversary 6. Guys, if you have not checked out a Glory Pro event, make sure you go do so. Glory Pro puts on fantastic shows,
especially this one.
Yes,
this card is loaded.
Yep, you're going to see Eddie Kingston, Wasteland War Party, Camaro Jackson, all will be there. Make sure you go check that out.
And Dan the Dad.
Dan the Dad.
Who doesn't love Dan the Dad?
Not me.
I mean,
yeah, not me. Yeah, there you go. I was like, what? Dean Houston says, good show tonight, guys. Shylin is off this weekend, but has a match in IEW in Illinois for the men's heavyweight championship. There you go.
Nice.
Hell yes. Tell IEW to put their championship on Shylin. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
So future guest guys, we've got next week, which I will not be here for, because I will be on a date with my wife, and it's going to be the I-70 hot tag with Dick Richards, Dick. With Bryan J. Bebe and the returning, the real Josh Elliott, not the fake Josh Elliott disguised as Bryan J. Bebe, or Bryan J. Bebe disguised as the fake Josh Elliott.
Yeah. I just don't have I don't have my glasses on, so.
And then the following week, we're gonna get the I-70 hot tag with Blair Dior, who was just in the chat. So that's going to be a couple of days before his tryout for WWN. So
Yeah.
hell yes, good for him.
So see, Josh should have taken his anniversary off that week so I could use Blair.
There you go.
I loved Adrian though, so maybe you need to switch your dates.
Maybe I do.
You can
Maybe
put
I
up with
do.
the dick.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've gotten myself in enough hot water with the Empire.
Yeah, but you see this way now, they can see that you have someone that can tag in for you, so their whole cronies won't mess with you as much.
I ain't scared of none of them.
I know you're
I ain't
not.
scared of none of them. So, give me some painkillers and some whiskey.
Yeah, we'll bring Buddy Shepard with us.
Yeah, there you go. That's so funny. And then our following guest after that got a few spots to fill. So if you're a talent in the Midwest area and you're watching the show, listening to the show, however you're digesting the show, and you want to be a guest on the I-70 Hot Tag, reach out to the I-70 Hot Tag. It is the I-70 Hot Tag at gmail.com about coming on the show and promoting yourself as a wrestler and you know, getting your name out there and stuff like that. We would love to have you on. So definitely
the right idea.
Yeah, exactly. Just hit us up. But after Blair Dior on the 23rd, our next guest is on March 2nd, and that is Grandel Wrestling owner who will be on here. Give me one moment.
I'm excited for that interview.
Yes, sir. If I can get the stupid calendar open. Joey. Yes. Grandel Wrestling owner Joey will be on the show on March 2nd. And then we're going to chat with him about the Grandel Wrestling St. Louis versus the World 2 that Josh and I and maybe Bryan J. Bebe will be going to. I don't know.
When is this one again?
Saturday, March 18th.
March 18th? Yeah,
Yep.
Possible.
Okay. All right, cool. Other than that, I don't have anything else, Bryan J. Bebe. Do you?
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm glad I could provide some comedy relief tonight. Should do more of the owners on here. I agree, Dean.
Absolutely.
I think now that Strider is an owner rather than just the booker at CSW, I think he'd come back and talk.
Yeah.
He's a good interview.
I would definitely be good for that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
he's a phenomenal interview.
Yeah, he is. He's a great interview. But yeah, he and Trinity opened up their tattoo shop not too long ago.
Oh, so that's him and Trinity together?
He and Trinity own it. Yep.
Nice. That's badass. I did not know that. I knew Trinity did.
Trinity did my recent ink. I want to say almost 2 weeks ago. They opened on a Thursday. I think that Saturday I got my tattoo.
So Josh and I got these little wireless Rode microphones. So
Nice.
this is what we'll be using to interview people and stuff. And the reason why I bring that up is because we're not just going to do like stuff at the shows. Like I'm also going to do on-site interviews and stuff. So like I said, a lot of great stuff coming, guys. Yeah. I'm trying to think, man. I know I don't have anything right now, but I know as soon as we end the show, I'm going to be like, oh shit, I forgot.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's it. Bryan J, you got anything else?
No, other than I think earlier Kai said something about Scott Tyler versus Anakin Murphy again at CSW. That'd be a heck of a match.
Yes.
But I mean, I don't have anything else to promote other than Talent Tattoo, KC?
Yes.
That's
Absolutely.
it. I'm working on getting them a
Wonderful.
sponsorship for you. Working on it. I mean, I did spend a little bit of money there, so you know.
I don't fucking. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, if that's it for the night, then we appreciate everybody joining us for the 41st episode of the I-70 Hot Tag. We want to thank everybody who hung out with us today. Dean, Jake Boss, Gears of Kai, Blair Dior, Scott Tyler,
Evangelistico.
Casey Houston,
the I-70 Hot Tag. Joshua Elliott.
Hunter Dillon, everybody who came through, we greatly appreciate you. Willie Hendricks, as always. Much love to everybody that hung out with us tonight. You guys, if you guys don't know, on Monday nights, we do the pit stop and we watch matches of the people who we're going to interview on Thursday. So guys, come back Monday night, hang out with us. We're gonna watch a match for our guests next week, and go from there. Also, make sure you follow CR Media and the I-70 Hot Tag on all forms of social media, guys. If you know what a Discord is, join the Discord, the CR Media Discord, guys. Here we go. Give me 1 second here.
No, you're good.
The Discord, we're always hanging out. We're always doing fun stuff. And then also in the Discord, if you are a Twitch subscriber, we are going to do premium watch-alongs. We'll watch pay-per-views, guys. So you don't have to pay for it. You guys can come watch it on the Discord. I was trying to think of a way to say that without, but I don't care. So, yeah, come to the Discord. Come hang out with us. Follow the link there. If you guys are not able to access that link, message me and I'll get you a link. But come hang out, man. We're trying to grow that Discord up and trying to create a community in there. We're always talking wrestling and sports and stuff like that. So the more people that are in there, obviously the more active it'll be. So definitely come check that out. Other than that,
I don't
as
have
always,
anything.
What do we usually say, Bryan?
Something about good fight and good night.
That's right. That's what we say.
Well, that's what you say.
Yeah. Good fight, good night, guys.
Josh does the.
That's right.